All right, welcome back. This week, Apple and the FBI will face off in a California court hearing. The FBI wants Apple's help in breaking encryptions in order to go through an iPhone used by one of the San Bernardino terror shooters. The FBI says this is an isolated case needed to protect national security. Apple says it's about privacy and who ultimately controls our digital devices. Here to explain everything, it's Fox News senior judicial analyst, Judge Andrew Napolitano. Welcome back, Judge.
Good to be with you,
I have been waiting to dive into this case with you. Tomorrow is a huge day. Do you think Apple has made a compelling legal case so far?
I think Apple's made a compelling and outstanding legal case, the essence of which is the 13th Amendment, which prohibits slavery, prohibits involuntary servitude. It prohibits the government from saying you will work for us against your will.
Yeah.
Put aside the issue of a draft. We're talking that's talking about wartime. But Apple is basically saying, the Justice Department is basically saying to Apple, we want you to destroy your own product, and we want you to do it for us, just us, and no harm can come from this. A very interesting group of people disbelieves the Justice Department's argument. Secretary of Defense Carter, Director of the CIA Brennan, former Director of CIA and NSA General Michael Hayden, no less a military and national security hawk than Senator Lindsey Graham, no less a security hawk than former Department of Homeland Security Secretary Michael Chertoff. Senator Graham informed me that the intelligence community is making the rounds on Capitol Hill and lobbying members of Congress and asking them to come out in favor of Apple if they can, as Senator Graham did, or if they can't, to remain neutral.
What does Lindsey Graham know that some of his neoconservative fellow hawks either don't know or won't acknowledge?
All right, he wouldn't tell me all the details that he learned from these intelligence agents who visited him. But he did tell me the bottom line is the intelligence community accepts Apple's argument that if Apple makes this key, let's say this is the key, if Apple makes this key and it is used once, the Russian intelligence, the Mossad, people who wish us ill and people who wish us well, will have it in a heartbeat, and that would be catastrophic for the security of our intelligence agents. So that's the essence of what they've told him. What else they told him, what other secrets they told him, obviously he's not going to tell me.
Well, Hayden has also made the point that encryption is vital to our national security. It's not only something that customers on the free market have been clamoring for, knowing that their government has the capability of spying on them, but it actually makes this country safer from outside forces.
Now the FBI really dropped the ball here, and I think to cover themselves for dropping the ball, the Justice Department has written briefs that are acerbic in tone, that are so personal about Tim. Unusually so. Usually at this level, because there's no jury there, lawyers are professional with each other and they don't get personal. The Justice Department has gotten personal with Apple and really accused it of materially disrupting national security. The FBI mistakenly told the San Bernardino people whose cell phone this was, the employers of the guy who they killed, who caused the massacre, to erase the password. Now, your 16-year-old nephew or child knows better than to do that. As well, the FBI waited 2.5 months before they brought this action against Apple, thereby defeating their argument that we got to know who the Confederates were. We got to get in there. Well, if you have to know who the Confederates were, why are you waiting 2.5 months? You think they're sitting around waiting for you to arrest them? They're back in Syria or wherever they came from.
Yeah, if it's that pressing. I mean, and there are two failures here. Obviously, you know, if they had the inkling that they should go after people who might be in the contact list on the phone, they should have done that immediately. But the other thing is, obviously, clearly an intelligence failure from the beginning that they're now trying to cover up.
Look, a lot of people have argued with you and me on this that we are presenting obstacles to the government's efforts to keep us safe. We are not. The Constitution intentionally poses obstacles to law enforcement so that we don't have a police state. The Constitution intentionally defers to the privacy of us all and thereby saving the criminality of a few, a Scalia phrase. The Constitution intentionally makes law enforcement jump through hoops to protect our natural rights. This is just one of them.
All right, very good. Judge Napolitano, we will be watching tomorrow, and we will certainly seek your counsel very soon. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Kennedy. Pleasure.
Coming up.